Okay, here are 5 things that I want to do to my Porsche and 5 things that I do not want to do to my Porsche. Why 5? I don't know. It sounded better than 4 or 6. So here we go. Top of the list is I need new engine mounts. And I was just going to pay for my mechanic, my independent Porsche mechanic, to do that. But somebody called me out on that. They put a comment in one of my videos saying, you look like the type of person that could do that yourself. So I might have to borrow my neighbor's floor jack and do that myself and document it. And I know it's been done before on YouTube, but what the heck, it'll be a learning experience and I'll probably try and video that. Number 2, I need some new floor mats. So it's kind of strange. When I got the Porsche, I got 5 floor mats. One of them was an odd one that I don't know where it fits, so I checked it out. But the 2 in the front didn't match, number 1. And number 2, they're meant to have this little Velcro thing on the back, which the passenger size has. And what Porsche has, I don't know if these are aftermarket or not, but these little things that screw in to little plastic holes in the floor. And that's the other side of the Velcro. So that's great at keeping grip on your mat. Well, the other side doesn't have the little Velcro underneath the mat. I tried buying some Velcro and I was gonna sew it on. We don't have a sewing machine anymore. Went over to my mother's house and she said, you're not getting anywhere near my sewing machine with those floor mats. Try to hand sew it with a big needle, it didn't work. So I need new floor mats. If anybody has suggestions on which ones are good without paying Porsche prices, your input would be welcome. Number 3 on the list, do you know what a puddle light is? So the little light on the side of the door that is on a 997 is red and white. I've seen them for the next model up, the 991, and they shine down on the floor and you can either have like a Porsche emblem or just the word Porsche. I just think that looks so neat. And that's gonna contradict one of the things I don't wanna do, but I just think that's a kind of a neat thing, a pretty easy upgrade. So puddle lights for the doors. Number 4, I think I need to have this, the paint detailed. So I don't know if it's a clay bar, if it's a polish, if it's a color correction, maybe all of the above. There's a place local to me called Second to None, and they seem to have a package for about $450 where they'll do those things. And that's another YouTube video I could do because I know nothing about paint. They talk about Porsche paint being soft, color correction, I don't know what that means. I just know I see other cars about my same age and some of them are just so shiny. And I don't know if that's a ceramic coating or something, but I'd like to find out more about that and document it. Number 5, my headlights need restoring, and especially the fog lights, turning lights are in pretty bad shape. Headlights aren't too bad. So I'm trying to think, do I do that myself? Do I pay the detailer? I do see a kit from 3M, very inexpensive one on Amazon. But then that probably assumes you've got the right power tool or random orbital, dual action hardware to do that. But I'd be interested in what's the best and what's the best results. Also, if they're not too far gone, which these aren't, they're not like it's been sitting outside its whole life. Do you just start with a finer grain instead of going to the real low grain 400, 500, 600 sandpaper? Do you start with the 1000 or the 4000? I don't know. So, all right, so those are the 5 things. I don't know, hope those were 5. Here are 5 things I don't want to do. I don't need a louder exhaust. I don't think this has the sports exhaust. It is the Carrera S. I know it's not a switchable exhaust because it doesn't have the little button that looks like a pair of sunglasses or a tailpipe. I don't need a louder exhaust. It's already loud enough. I like it just where it is. I went over to my neighbor's house the other day. I drove over there and he said, I could hear you when you started up the car and until you got to my house. So it's plenty loud. Number 2, I'm not gonna replace the side markers. I have yellow ones with the gray ones, at least not yet. I don't like to be told what to do, and I was on a video and they were saying, don't be caught with yellow side markers. And I was talking to another guy, Brian, and he said, yeah, he has a silver Gen 2 of the 997, and he felt like it made the body too monochromatic, was his word, which I agree. I like a little pop of yellow, so I'm gonna stick with the yellow markers. Let me know what you think. All right, now this one's controversial, and I'll probably get some hate for this, but I'm not gonna replace the OEM bulbs inside of the car with LEDs. I think LEDs are great. I think They might be great in certain applications, but to me, an LED light depending on the, I know you can get them in different warmths, but your typical one for the inside of a car are very cold. It kind of reminds me of opening up a refrigerator. I think a refrigerator or a wine cooler, drinks refrigerator looks great in that nice 5700 Kelvin or whatever it is. That looks great. I think the inside of your car needs to look a little more inviting, but that's just me. That's purely just me. So I'm not going to be doing the bright white LEDs inside of the car. I think it looks quite nice to have that warmer look of what I have. Number four. I'm not going to get a Porsche license plate rim. I mean, to me, now, I know this kind of contradicts with my puddle lights. You know, you pull up at night, valet park, and it shines Porsche on the ground. That's cool, but it's a little more subdued. You don't see it all the time. It's a little more subdued. To me, if you have a Porsche and then you get a license plate and then you say Porsche on it, it's what do they call that? Gilding the lily or something. It's just over the top, but that's just me. I mean, when you pull up and you see somebody in a Lamborghini, you know it's an exotic, expensive sports car. You don't need to see it on the license plate frame, but that's just me. Another thing I'm not going to do is change the head unit, the PCM, I think they call it, the double DIN. You can very inexpensively get like Apple Play ones, but there's just something I like about things being original. Once again, it's just me. It's just my personality. I like it kind of original. And I mean, kind of imagine if someone, you know, they bought an Aston Martin DB5 and, you know, many, many years ago, and they decided to swap out the radio for a more modern one. Right now, we'd be going, oh my goodness, I can't believe they ripped out that radio. So I know this is not a DB5. I get it. But I like, it works just well enough, with the exception of my iPhone integration. It plays Spotify, it plays podcasts, but when you pick up the phone, you don't hear it over the speaker system with the Denshin 500 unit. But it works well enough, and it looks good enough. So that's just my opinion on the 5 things that I do and don't want to do on my Porsche for now. Thanks for listening.